Hey friends, welcome back to my channel again. Please like and subscribe, share. So we're back to order of operations again. So we're still on order of operations. We've done order of operation 1, 2, and today we're doing order of operations 3. Okay, so this time we've got some fractions involved, but we're still following the same procedure. So I'll just write down that 6 as it is. 6 subtract, and we have the 1, put it down, over. Then you just solve that little bit there. 10 add 6 is 16. So right now we've got one fraction. One side is a fraction and the other side a whole number. So you're going to imagine that you take one whole out of 6, right? So I'm just going to put that one whole here. So if I remove one whole from 6, how many holes will I have left? I'll have 5 holes left. So I'll put that 5 there. Now this one hole that I removed from the 6, I'm going to split it into 16 little portions. And then out of those 16 little portions, I remove this one. I'll be left with 15. So and that brings us to 5 holes, 15th, 16th. So 6 minus 1/16 will give you 5 holes, 15/16. But as we go on, you'll see a few more calculations that look like that, and hopefully it will make more sense. So here again, we've got 5 at the top, and then just simplify the bottom bit. So 10 add 4, that's 14, and that's your answer there. 514. Okay, question 2. Now, if you remember from our previous video, solve your bracket first if you've got a bracket. So 4 subtract 4, that's just 0. And you bring down everything else as they are. And then we have 2 subtract 2, that's just 0, add 0, and our answer is just 0. Okay, question 2b. Now, when you see this dot, so for the purpose of these calculation, that dot there is not decimal, so it represents multiplication. So some textbooks, some teachers like to represent their multiplication sign with a dot instead. So we're going to treat that as a multiplication, and in fact I'm just going to do this. Okay, so we have 1 subtract, then we have 1 times 1, that's 1 over 7. Now we have just one whole, right? So if we split that one whole into 7 little portions and we remove one portion, we will have 6 portions left. So 6/7. Please watch my video on fractions. There are different ways to approach fractions, but it leads you to the same answer. Okay, still the same pattern. Some approach are longer, some are shorter, some are easier to grasp. The idea is just look at the different approaches that are available to you and find the one that your mind just grasps easily. So I don't like to call a method longer or shorter, it's just which one is easier for you to understand. So okay, so let's move on. My apologies, my video is fainting up. Not sure why it's doing that. Just a second, I'm just trying to get it stabilized. Yeah, there we are, perfect. Okay, so we go on as we did before. Question 3, we've got 3 subtract and 5. 10 add 9 is 19. So now we've got 3 wholes minus 5/19. Okay, so we will take one whole from that 3 and put it aside. If you remove one whole from 3, you are left with 2 wholes. Let's put 2 wholes here. Now the one whole we took, we're going to split it into 19 little portions. So think of 19 little I don't know, sweets, right? And then you take 5 out of those sweets, you'll be left with 14 out of 19. So 3 wholes subtract 5/19 is 2 wholes 14/19. Okay, let's go on to question 3b. So again, like I said before, approach that dot you see there is a multiplication, right? So it's not a decimal, it's a multiplication. Some people like to write their multiplication as a dot instead of the actual multiplication sign. But anyway, when you think about BODMAS, multiplication comes before subtraction. So we'll do 2 times 4, and that's 8. And then you bring down your 8 as normal, and 8 subtract 8 is just 0. And question 4, just giving the camera a few seconds to stabilize itself. There we go, I think that's a lot better. Okay, so 7, so this is a fraction, so straightforward. 5 subtract 3, and that's 2. Right now this is in improper fraction because you've got a larger number above the smaller number. So imagine having a 2-year-old child trying to carry a 7-year-old child, so that's improper. So we can change it to mixed fraction if the question requested that. So change it to mixed fraction. How many 2's can you find in 7? 3 lots of 2's, because we know that 3 times 2 is 6, and we're left with 1. So we've got 3.5. Okay, so question 4b. This is similar to the ones we were doing before. So we've got 8 holes, right? So you take 1 hole. I'm just going to put it aside. If you remove 1 hole from that 8, you'll be left with 7 holes. Now the 1 hole that we took out from the 8, you split it into 7 little portions, so like 7 sweets, and then you remove 5 sweets from that 7 sweet. Actually we are adding this time, we're not subtracting, my apologies. Okay, so this is where one needs to focus and not make errors. So yeah, if we were subtracting, what I was about to do there is what you would have done, but for some reason my eyes saw addition, but my mind was doing subtraction. Okay, so 8 plus 5 sevenths, you just have your 8 and you've got 5 sevenths, and that's pretty straightforward. Okay, question 5a. So again, this is addition. So you have your 3 wholes and 7 eighths. You just basically bring them together. And then for 5b, you go your 4 and then solve the bottom, so the denominator, and that's 5 plus 2 is 7. So we've got 4 sevenths. And that brings us to the end of our order of operation 3. Check out my next video for order of operations 4. Thank you. Bye.